let's jump right in. 2021 is upon us. You should be planning now for 2021. New Year's resolutions don't start on the 1st, right? The mindset around 2020 needs to start probably around August. That's where we're getting to, because the work now and the work I'm doing with my new clients really stressing and making everybody get a meeting in before the end of the year, because I want the first of the year come and we hit the ground running. I don't want to like wake up in the new year and go, okay, I got to do some new stuff. I got a meeting in 2 weeks. No. And we start on January 2nd. First meeting's late December. First doing meeting, first accountability meeting is in January. So our meeting on January 2nd will be, what have you done? What have you done to move the work forward? Right? And that's where these last 3 or 4 posts have come from. And so, again, whether it's your mindset, whether it's the actual doing, you've got to get reset for 2021. Just go back and listen to the last 3 or 4 of my Facebook Lives in a row, right? The structure, the template, the blueprint for a successful business never changed. 2020 exposed those who weren't working from that mindset. I'm not saying it wasn't a struggle. I'm not saying it wasn't work. But I'm saying if you didn't have the structure in place, and the only thing you're going to come out of 2020 with is saying, I need more new patients, and I created these 3 new services, good luck with that. Good luck with that. The services we created in 2020 as a result of our potential client customer patients requiring new ways to access us is not the biggest lesson from 2020. So again, if you come out of 2020 and your only thoughts and your only goals are to get more new patients into a system that I had in 2020, that I did no work on, that I only crammed more services into, it's going to be a difficult 2021 for you. So I'll tell you what, I'll tell you who learned a lot in 2020, who learned the most, who's going forward with the newest mindset is the healthcare consumer, the person who has a choice, the person who is looking for a solution came out of 2020 wiser. Will you come out of 2020 wiser so you can help them, accommodate them, build a relationship with them? Is a $1 million question. That's what this whole month's been about, is you've got to, and there are people out there doing it right. I'm not just going to sit here from my office in Philadelphia and tell everybody they're doing it wrong. There are people moving it forward. There are people doing it right. They understood, they had a client journey, a patient's journey, a patient life cycle, right? Patient life cycle, patient journey, same thing. They understood that people move through a journey within their business. They understood, at least to some degree, that some of the, what needed to occur at all, some of the steps or most of the steps. They understood that they were moving through a process that needed to be managed every fucking day by everybody in the business. And those are the people that are coming out of this successful. And I'll tell you why. Trust and relationships. Adding new services doesn't build trust. Getting more new patients doesn't add trust. And trust is the magic word and the magic potion and the voodoo in this whole relationship and template and structure of a successful business. And the sooner we build trust in our business, by the way, it's in all these books back here. And it doesn't matter the industry. They all talk about trust. Whatever that means to that industry, it doesn't matter the industry. It just doesn't. It's about trust and building that relationship. And I said last week, if you tell me you build relationships and I go, show me your life cycle. If you are going to go out on a first date with someone, right, you understand the life cycle of this dating process. You pretty much understand what must occur at the first date, the second date, the third date to keep this process going. You understand your goals, and if you're smart, you're honest with yourself about those goals, and you're honest with the other person about those goals. And then they tell you what their goals are with this process and this relationship. Yet we move on to the business and we just say, I need more new patients. And then we tell the front desk to get them scheduled. And then we let them do nothing for 2 weeks. And then we hope they show up. And then we have a first visit arrival rate of 80%. I'm like, where's the other 20%? And then we have a drop-off rate of greater than 10%. We have a cancel rate greater than 10%. right? Which means our completed plan of carers are below 90%. All those say, no trust. So again, if someone says, I build relationships, what's your drop-off rate? What's your first visit arrival rate? Things like that start to tell us, those are the measures of trust, right? NPS score is like a measure of their experience, right? So taking a survey, let me tell you guys right now, if you only survey and give NPS to people who complete a plan of care, you are part of the problem. You're biasing the system. If you can't tell me your drop-off rate, if you can't tell me your first visit arrival rate, then you're going to tell me you need more new patients in 2021, and that is the solution for you and your business. Yeah. Here's the deal. In 2021, a successful business is about understanding the flow of the business. Attraction, here, let's start here. Selling, retention, exciting, so the experience kind of mindset, and then referral. And then it feeds back onto itself. That's the flow of the business, right? Around your patient's life cycle. So if you understand your patient's life cycle, this is mirrored, it always screws me up. If you understand your patient's life cycle and you understand the flow of the business, then your answer will never default to, I need more new patients. Because you know what you'll default to is we need to do more marketing to X, which means I alert my front desk sales team that we have sent a mailer out, that we have taken an ad in the paper, that we're doing a workshop in the public. And the front desk sales team understands that process and they know what they need to do. There's no new training. They just know, all right, we got the workshop people calling this week, right? And they understand the process to take them through, to identify, here's the kicker, 8 minutes in, to identify who are the people who are the best fit for this company. Because not everybody who attends your workshop will be the best fit for your company. This is why I need more new patients never works. That means just cram the top of the funnel, right? And you say, well, if I churn, if 30% of the people, 20% of the people on my schedule churn out, drop off, then I just need to put 20% more in. I'm like, whew. That is a wicked game to play. And that is the majority of clinics out there. They don't worry about retention. They don't worry about completed plans of care because there's always someone sitting in the top of the funnel that they're cramming back in there. More new patients. So when you understand your patient's life cycle in your business, when you understand the flow of the business around that patient life cycle, then, as I said, the default will never be, I need more new patients, right? It'll be, I need more patients who, again, come from the workshop, come from our mailers, or I need to start the process. Really, the mindset is, well, I need to start the marketing process that will flow into the sales process that will put the people who are the right fit on the schedule. So the word that's been missing is, right, I need more patients. I need more new leads who are the right fit for my business. So you go out and do the workshop in the community, you get 50 calls, 25 of those people schedule. So then you start to go, what is the similarity in all 25 of those people? By the way, out of the 25 that schedule, 18 stay and complete a plan of care. Those are the ones you want to focus on. So you go, how do we get more of these 18 people calling us, right? We ran a workshop, we got 50 calls, let's do more workshops. I'm like, really? Leads to scheduled to arrived. If you got 100 leads, that's freaking awesome. Now, if none of them scheduled, you don't want 100 more leads, right? You want 100 more leads who will schedule. So we're doing the right thing to get them into the group. How do we move the marketing mindset further upstream to get 100 people into the workshop who will schedule, or 80 people, or 75? And then of those, how many do we need to arrive? Marketing, I'm going to say it out loud. By the way, I say this to the marketing people. Marketing is the low-hanging fruit, right? There's no accountability to you, the practice owner. You send the money out, you hope for the best, and when it doesn't work, they didn't do the job properly. First thing I ask the people who are doing Facebook ads, I say, who's the target? They're like, well, they're working on that. I said, let me see the copy. Who's it attracting? Right? They can always tell me what the copy says, but they can't tell me who it's attracting. So I want you to go into 2021 with this mindset of, okay, I understand my patient's life cycle. I understand their journey, right? I understand the entry points. I got workshops. I got websites. I got mailers I do, right? And then I want you to go back and go, okay, who do I want? Who do I need to attract earlier in this process? Because one person who calls your clinic, who schedules, who arrives, pays, and stays is far more valuable than anything else. And I say that, and you say, I know that. But you're waiting and hoping that your provider in the room can figure that all out in 1 hour and in 45 minutes can figure that all out. I'm saying you need to have the structure down and the process down where only those people, and I say only, that's a broad term, but that has to be the mindset. We only want the people calling who mirror and replicate this person right here, right? Patient one, they called, they scheduled, they arrived, they paid, they stayed, they sent friends to us. You got to dig down into that. That's the more new patients you want. You can only get that when you understand the process and the systems of the patient life cycle and the overlying flow of your business, which is marketing, which is sales, which is retention, which is excitement, which is referral, right? If you want a referral from someone after their course of care, when they're done, you got to start asking for it when they arrive on the first visit. And bear with me, ask for it is start to have that conversation. Make sure they see things around, make sure they read things, make sure they hear things that say that we pride ourselves on our patients who talk about us in the public, right? So stuff like that. That process starts. I've had the conversation 4 or 5 times this week with people who have gym programs, have all these cash paying programs in their business, and they're in network clinics. And they run everybody into PT, and then when their course of care is over, they pitch them on all these other services, and nobody buys. And I say, why would they? Why should they? And then they can't tell me the difference between the people who buy and don't buy. That's the work to be done today in December to set you up for success in 2021. So you don't need more new patients in 2021. You need to understand that patient life cycle. You need to understand the flow of the business, attraction, selling, exciting, retention, and referral in your business. Map that out. Map that out this week. Then grab one successful patient. Who is the last patient who came through who gave you and probably dealt with the friction that you set up for them? Who is the last patient that went through the system, who completed a course of care, did all the things you hope everybody would do? You got to go all the way back. How did they find you? Here's the other big missing component. Once you understand all this, how they found you is not enough, right? You got to know what they read, what they saw, what they heard. This is the work to be done. I've been preaching this for a long time. And then I do the secret callers and everybody says we do that, yet within, I'll tell you what, 75% of the in-network clinics I call within the first 3 questions ask me what insurance I have, even though I've never started a secret caller with I want to use my insurance. So no matter what comes after that, it's all based on the insurance. So again, understanding this process, understanding the attraction, understanding why are people choosing you. Because here's the big dirty secret. Here's the 900-pound gorilla in the room. Anybody can get better anywhere. Hopefully 500-600 people are going to watch this video. And then spread that word around. Been a physio for 27 years. And one of the biggest things I learned is people are going to get better at a lot of different places. I'm not the only show in town. I'm not the only place they can get better. Never was. Even though I convinced myself I was. So why will they choose you? Well, that's what you have to know early on. Why did you decide to pick up that phone and call us? Then why did you choose to arrive? Then why did you choose to pay this much out of your pocket? Then why did you stay? And then why did you tell your friends about us? Can you answer all those questions? Because you have to be able to answer all those questions. Otherwise, you're just going to be churning and burning and asking for more new patients. I think in-network clinics, by the way, I'm probably having more in-network clinics contact me and work with me these days. They get it. So many people in the non-in-network world sit around and think how different they are, but they get it. They're making the changes. I just make them, you know what I make them do? It's the same process, by the way. I train them the same exact way I train any other team, any other business. Move the goddamn cost conversation, move the insurance conversation, move all of that. Don't make excuses and apologize for people's shitty insurance. It's all this stuff. And then there's a conversation. This is where the patient life cycle comes in. And this is where I work hardest with the in-network clinics, is how do we greet the patients on every single visit? How do we put the emphasis back on them and why they're there? How do we make sure it's not just another Starbucks stop for them, where they show up to do some stuff and they chat with their friends and they go away, right? That's the work that needs to be done. And that comes from understanding your patient's life cycle, and then understanding the overlapping flow of the business, the attraction, the selling, the retention. How do we get people to stay? Well, I just told you. Make sure they understand that they need to value. How do we get people not to cancel? Same thing. That's part of the retention. And by the way, that starts on the first phone call. If I want someone to stay through a completed course of care and only cancel once or twice, which they will, then I need to start that conversation on the first phone call. I need them to understand how we are the right fit for them. I need them to understand that we're there for them and their goals, and that we don't deliver physical therapy. How do you like that one? I get people away from talking about physical therapy. Right? Physical therapy is a broad term. Anybody can do physical therapy. Can you deliver the results to me that I need to get back to CrossFit and get rid of my morning pain? Oh, I'll pay for that. Will I pay for physical therapy? More than likely not. What's my copay, right? I tell people all the time, I personally would never pay $50 for physical therapy. I'll pay $150. I'll probably even pay $200 for someone who can address me and my goals and my needs and my wants. And I can only do that if I do all the work I just talked about. So again, understanding that patient life cycle and understanding the overlapping flow of the business now, and doing the work now, today, December, will save you the hassle of the default of I need more new patients. And then you work with the marketing people. You say, these are the type of people I need. This is my clientele. This is who we need to attract. And then you want to see their results explode, because they're going to get you the right people. They'll get you the right leads. That's their job. And the more they know about who you need to attract, the better job they'll do. Then your front desk team will be prepared to talk to people about what you have to offer. Then your front desk team will start to collect data and information so you can reproduce those people. You can attract more of those people who will arrive, pay, and stay. It's a nice little virtuous cycle, and it's work. And it's mostly a mindset shift. Again, I build relationships. Show me your patient life cycle. Show me what you do with someone after you hang the phone up. Tell me how your team greets a patient on visit 3 versus visit 4. I got a hint. It's the same way. You got to systematize it all. Everybody talks about systems and processes. They always have a billing process. And that's about it. The rest of it, it's not built around the patient. So reset that mindset, right? Understand your patient's life cycle first. By the way, I would argue you must understand that ideal client. Yet I would argue just throw 10 people into it. But you got to understand, you got to be running the same process every time. Because the way you're going to figure out who's best is to take them through the process you set up. To collect the data, examine the data, change the marketing pitch, right? And then watch the growth occur with not more new patients, with people calling who are the right fit for your practice. All right, what do we got? 2 more weeks, 2.5 weeks of 2020. What an epic year. Epic year of learning, epic year of reflection and feedback, and would argue an epic year of exposure for what you need to do. And again, I'll finish the way I started. If you go into 2020 going, okay, I added these services and I added more marketing on the front end, and you can't tell me anything else in between, 2021 ain't going to be any better for you. Why? said this too. The healthcare consumer is coming out of 2020 smarter than anybody else. They will ask questions. They want to know why and how and what they are spending their money on. And if your team tells them physical therapy and the same thing that the other 5 places in your city, county, town is telling them, you've got 2021 is going to be an uphill battle for you. All right. If I just keep bringing it up, and so I'll offer it again. If anybody wants that life cycle I talk about, I can send you. I got two copies that I use, and it's just a template. I share it with everybody so that if you hear this word patient life cycle and you're like, what the hell is he talking about? Put life cycle into the I just go back to the thread, and anybody who wants it, I just drop it in your messenger, and then that way you guys will have a visualization and be able to visualize part of what I'm telling you guys of understanding this life cycle. So if you want it, type life cycle into the comments and I will send it to you. All right. Cheers all. 2 more weeks. Here we go.